Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome to live learning classes by Board of Studies. We are studying strategic management, and I see Gunjan, Divya, Hardik, Sankaran already joined in. Good to see you guys on time. All right, I see more people joining in. We have Sangeeta, Ajay. Hi, Sangeeta, Ajay, Jennifer, Jalaj, Kadambari. How's the festive season going? How's the Navratri going? You guys are going and enjoying some Durga Puja and Navratri, or is it you're just sitting at home and studying? I'm good, Anmani. Thank you for asking. Hi, Kadambari. Hi, Vadlamani, Tanu, Ramdeva. Ramdevi is there, Simran, Jyoti, Beluha, Rudra, Tamrai. How are you? Good, good, good. Morning, Jay, Khushi, Harshad. We are doing chapter 2, almost there with chapter 2. I know these chapters are long. This time, strategic management is just 5 chapters. But these are long chapters and really interesting concepts that we have brought in now. Prince Kushi Jai, how are you? You guys enjoying your festival season or just studying, sitting at home, slogging into your books? Anisha, Parth, Divya, Harshad, Jai, Kushi, Prince, Bhumika, Dinesh, Preeti, Simran. I'm good, Simran. Thanks for asking. Hi, Tamarai. No questions. Okay. Yesterday you're going. You went yesterday, okay? You went to a fair yesterday. We are good to see that somebody is enjoying at least, right? If not all of us. It's good to go and enjoy the festive season as well. Just don't keep studying. थोड़ा घूमने जाओ. It's, I'm glad you're here from foundation as well. So I'm really happy you have reached intermediate now. So good to see you here, and we'll be happy to see you in finals as well. Just studying at home, Parth. Go out, enjoy a little as well. That's what I would say. Just don't keep studying. It's a festive season. Sham ko jao, go 2 3 hours, roam around, go to some fair, go to some pandal, go to somewhere, right? Hang out with friends, enjoying both. People are enjoying both. That's what we expect you to do. I'm good, Jay. Thank you so much. Awesome. We were doing chapter 2. Any questions, any doubts, anything, any concept that you feel is not clear, let's spend a minute to see if you have any doubts before I start the session, right? We are doing chapter 2. We are talking about strategic analysis of external environment. We are talking about internationalization of businesses. We're talking about products. We're talking about industries. We're talking about how organizations really develop a strategy around their external environment. How do they respond to it? What all does come into the external environment, right? We've been doing this, and today we will complete a chapter 2 and try to start chapter 3 as well. Otherwise, we will do some questions, right? I do have some questions for you guys as well. So we'll do that. We'll touch upon, right? We'll touch upon some study material questions as well. November LLC, only one lecture every day. That's not possible. One lecture every day means, acha, in totality, Prince. You got your syllabus anyway. It's well designed to help you complete the syllabus well in time. See, ICAI wants to give you time for self-study as well. Let me be honest with you, right? I feel a lot of you think that the classes are going slow or they're taking a lot of time, but that's how it's supposed to be, right? The classes will take time. Why? Because we are giving you time for self-study as well. It's not just you come here, you study, you go back. The habit of self-study has to come up, and I enjoy, especially in C examinations. I can tell you with experience, right? Most of my exams I cleared because I did a lot of self-study. After looking at books, after talking to friends or listening to some lectures online, I used to go back and do self-study, a lot of it, right? Because When you teach yourself the best. Okay. Self study means you're teaching yourself. Nowadays, you have this chat GPT, right? You have this AI. If you have ever used chat GPT, you would go there and see that you prompt anything, it learns from your questions. It does a self learning and then gives the answers. Why is it called so disruptive a technology? Because it's working on self learning. It's doing a self learning. That's why it's going to disrupt the entire industries, right? And here we are saying we need you to spoon feed everything, tell us everything. We don't want to spend time with ourselves, teaching ourselves. Because that's not going to help. What's going to help is self study, and you have to do that. Okay. That's my advice. Might be right, might be wrong, might not suit you. That's a different case, but that's what I feel. Okay. Spend a lot of time studying yourself rather than being dependent on the classes. Classes are here to clear your doubts. Classes should be used to clear some concepts that you are not able to understand. Classes should not ideally be a source of your preparation, is what I feel. Okay. I am part of these classes, but I'm still telling you this honestly. You will succeed only when you study yourself. As simple as that. Bottom line. Cool. No questions. Let's get going into our chapter 2 where we left off, right? We left off our chapter 2 somewhere talking about, right? Somewhere talking about product and industries. We were talking about strategic analysis, what are the kind of external, internal analysis or SWOT analysis we were talking about, figure out your strengths, work on your weaknesses, find opportunities in the environment, balance it out with your weaknesses and the threats that are there in the environment, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, SWOT analysis, right? Then we talked about risks in the short term and long term, external and internal risks that come to your analysis of the environment. Your analysis might be wrong, something might change in the environment, your resources might not be capable enough to meet your dreams or desires of an organization, or something inconsistent might happen within your organization. All of this can cause a lot of risk to your environment analysis, to your strategy, and that is what strategic analysis or strategic risk was all about, right? Why was it important to determine opportunities and threats, give a direction, continuous learning, image building, meeting competition? That's why strategy and business environment study is important. Okay. Micro and macro, we were talking about macro in this chapter, where we were talking about the external macro environment, which is demographic, sociocultural, economic, political, legal, and technological environment. We talked about a tool which is called pestle analysis, which helps you analyze the macro environment of an organization, of a business, of a company. Political, economic, sociocultural, technological, legal, and environmental aspects of the environment are analyzed by using pestle analysis, which helps you build strategies based on what you gather information about the external environment, what are the demographics, what is the socio-cultural setup of the society, of the market that you're catering to. Okay, great. Then we talked about certain examples or use cases of business strategies of pestle analysis, like replacement of technology, technology changes, or the economic situation of the country changes. For example, Palestine versus Israel, right? The war is going on. The economy of the countries are changing. Okay, the economy of US is changing because of this. The economy of India might get impacted, right? Social, like for India, India is a developing country. A lot of jobs being created in India, a lot of MNCs coming to India. And you would see a lot of lifestyle trend changes in India. A lot of people have started going to gym. A lot of people have started eating healthy food. People are buying a lot of cars. People are buying a lot of gadgets, right? iPhones and your Apple watches and Samsung phones, this and that, and Redmi phones, one plus 40, 50,000 rupees, one plus phones. These are trends, these are lifestyle trends that people want to spend on technology, people want to spend on lifestyle. They are becoming affluent day by day. So this is where companies analyze their macro environment and figure out opportunities and threats, right? even from a legal aspect, how the law is changing, how the GST is changing, how easy it is to do business in the country. Are the courts supportive of business, or is it really tough for a business to do an operation in a particular country where the courts do not support, or the employment law is very strict, or the competition law is very weak, so it's not a fair ground for them? What's happening there? The organization, the company has to be aware of that. Then you have political environment. How are the political parties? How volatile they are? How strong they are? What are their probably policies for businesses? Are they more investment centric, or are they more socialist, where they say collect money, give it to the poor, or they're like, we want more people to become entrepreneurs? What kind of a policy does the political party in the country has? All these aspects of macro environment are analyzed in pestle analysis. Okay. Then we talked about international businesses. What is characteristic of a global company? How do you develop international companies? Right. We talked about certain Indian companies that have gone global, like TCS, Wipro, Vedanta, Reliance, Airtel. All these Indian companies have now gone global, right? TCS has development centers in Chicago, in Netherlands, in Australia, in every part of the world, every big country of the world. TCS, Wipro, Vedanta, Reliance, Airtel, all of these have operations, all of these have offices, all of these have really talented people working for them in different countries. Most of you, after becoming chartered accountants, if you plan to get into employment and you want to get into these companies or any other big company, they're just very few names. There are thousands of companies which have gone global. You can opt for a global role, like a chartered accountant working in New Zealand, or a chartered accountant working with Wipro in, let's say, in Ireland or UK, right? All these companies have gone global. So we studied why do they go global, because there are certain things. It's not just about more market. That's one. More revenue, more margins, better margins, more market share. That's one, that's for sure. But other things are, for example, reduced time. The internet has broken down the barriers. Access to resources increases. More talented people across the globe, they can exploit. Exploit in terms of utilize. The word exploit is just used here, but it's more about utilizing the talent globally, right? Then you have cost reduction opportunities, like Zara and H&M, we took an example, are coming to Indonesia, Vietnam for making their products, right? Bangladesh, they are manufacturing their all the clothes, all the jeans and tops and shirts and all the fashionista stuff you see on Zara and H&M. It's made somewhere in Bangladesh, somewhere in Vietnam, or maybe Indonesia, right? Cost reduction, because producing the same thing in, let's say, US, in Canada, and somewhere in Europe is really costly for them. But these countries like Bangladesh, India, or Vietnam, Indonesia, right? These countries are really cheap for them as compared to those countries. So they want to come to these countries, start their operations, start their manufacturing plants, and then take it back to those countries, right? And sell those in the same countries as well, right? Then economic integration, ease of forming alliances within the companies, like Starbucks coming to India with Tata, right? Range Rover, Land Rover being bought by Tata there, Reliance buying a lot of international brands, international hotels, right? Ease of forming strategic alliances is way more in today's time. People are aware of global things, people are aware of global trends, people are aware of global resources. So it's time they use all of this, right? Then we were doing multinational analysis, regional analysis, and country analysis. That from top to bottom, you go analyzing each aspect of the international environment. You talk about different countries, which country suits my needs the best. Then within the country, what region, east, west, south, north, of that particular region, of that particular area, that does make sense for me. And then you get into a particular country to analyze what kind of markets are there, what kind of opportunities there, what kind of threats are there, can you manage those and build a business there, right? That is the layer of analysis you do for internationalization of your business. Okay, great. And then we were finally talking about understanding product and industry. Like when we say product, we are also talking about services. not just hardcore products like chocolates and cars. We are also talking about resorts. You go to a resort, pay 27, 28,000 rupees for one night to enjoy the scenic beauty, the services they have, the food, the lounge, the pool, the gardens, the rooms, right? All of that is also part of product, right? And industry, like a dentist servicing or somebody selling tea on the road or in a stall or a coffee, right? All of this is product and industry. Great. I see something in the chat. Let's see why ESG regulation is not considered as a separate chapter in strategic management. This concept is mandatory disclosed in the annual report of large listed companies. Because strategic management is not just talking about legal aspect, we are talking more about strategy, wherein we are touching about the legal aspect as well. We are talking about what compliances you have to do. We are talking about value systems, right? Srinivasan, we have talked about value systems, we have talked about ethics, we have talked about intent. All of that philosophically covers these concepts that you have to do the right thing, right? Strategic management leaves this topic for the law, for the like papers which are more technical centric. What we're talking here about is a broad strategy where we do touch upon concepts of intent, value. We do talk about doing the right thing, triple bottom line. We'll talk about that as well. Okay. BlackRock is coming with Geo Financial Services to enter into India's mutual fund market. Pa, thanks for that information. That's a great thing that you're reading the news, and that's absolutely right. That's internationalization of business as well. One of the biggest investment banks, BlackRock, is coming to India with Geo Financial Services, right? Building a product here, selling something to Indians here. So that's internationalization of business again. Great. We were talking about products and industries, right? We talked about tangible and intangible products. Tangible products being something that you can touch, like a phone, like a mug, water bottle, bed, pillow, the tube lights, the watch, a perfume bottle, a cream, right? All of that is tangible product. Intangible products is like insurance services, your SIM card services, your television channels, right? Your OTT platforms. These are intangible products. You can't touch them, but you can experience them. You can feel them, right? Those are also products. Pricing dynamics, like pricing are determined by supply chain or your supply and demand or quality marketing. If the marketing is good, they will charge a higher price. If they have a bigger brand person like Amitabh Bachchan or Dhoni doing a particular ad, you know this they're going to charge more money because they have got that person to promote their product, right? So we know if Dhoni is advertising a particular product or Amitabh Bachchan is advertising a particular product, it's going to charge or it's going to have costlier pricing than a basic product, right? That's called pricing dynamics, making the customer feel that, see, we can charge more money. It doesn't make sense, to be honest, but that's how pricing dynamics work. Okay. Also, not just this, but sometimes competition also sets the price for you as well. You might be having a particular stall of sandwich outside a college, and you say that, boss, I want to charge about 100 rupees for one sandwich. Somebody comes and opens a stall and is selling sandwiches for 75 rupees. You will be bound to sell for 75 or 80. You cannot sell for 100, right? It will be really difficult for you to sell the sandwich at 100 rupees. That's how competition pushes you or often sets the prices for you in the market. Product features for satisfaction, like product features satisfy the customer needs. They are supposed to satisfy what the customer wants, right? And you need to take feedback at every stage of a product as an organization to ensure that the features are being updated, upgraded every single cycle of your innovation so that the customers are satisfied and feel happy about your product. Okay, like Apple does, like Samsung does, like LG does, like Airtel does, like Lenovo, HP, Microsoft, Google. Every 4 or 5 weeks, you would see Chrome update ho gaya. Now you would go and see your Chrome, it's again updated. Your software, phone softwares are already always getting updated. The apps are getting updated. Why? Why are they being updated? Because the companies want to ensure that the customer feels engaged, that the customer feels that they are being taken care of. Okay, that's why they keep upgrading the design, the way, the features, this and that, everything. Okay, Products are pivotal for business. That means they are really important. They are the center of the business, right? That is where the business stands, a product or a service, right? They're central to the business. They drive production, quality, sales, revenue, margin. Everything comes from products and services for a business. Finally, product life cycle we were talking about. Every product has a product life cycle which starts from introduction, goes to growth, then maturity, and then it sees a decline. The question to you is that I already explained is, right? The question to all of you in the chat is, which of the following which of the following segments within product life cycle, or which of the stages in the product life cycle any business tries to expand the most or elongate the most? Which stage in the product life cycle does an organization, a company, a brand wants to elongate or expand the most? Which stage in product life cycle do they want to elongate or stretch the most? Okay. Mohan says growth. Okay. Maturity. Growth, maturity, growth. There's a tussle between growth and maturity, which I'm very happy to see because that's what I expected. Nagaraju, non-trading concerns like education institutions and hospitals and other service industry, for them it is necessary for strategy. Absolutely, yes, Nagaraju. Every business needs a strategy, right? What should be the pricing of a heart surgery? What should be the pricing of a dental surgery? What should be pricing of replacing a kneecap? What should be the pricing of general health checkup? How do you do that? That's strategy. There is competition as well. Pricing is done, strategy is done, marketing is done, promotion is done, everything is done. Growth, 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 growth. Majority of the people saying growth. Okay, now the ratio is 70-30. 70% of the people say growth, 30% of the people say maturity. Okay, we have a reason as well for maturity. Part says maturity because they will try to add new things until it will be substituted for something else, right? Okay. Growth they want as soon as possible. That's right. But the question is, which stage do they want to elongate the most? The interesting thing is both the answers are right, but it depends on the stage your organization is. Okay. Now, I'll tell you what. The interesting thing about product life cycle is the life cycle also has the age of the company as a big factor. For example, a startup, a startup would want to elongate their growth stage. They would want to grow for the next 5, 7 years. They would want to grow at 100%. Every year we double the business. If a startup today is, let's say, a 20 crore business, they want to do 40, they want to do 80, they want to do 160, they want to do 320, they want to do 640 crores, right? They want to elongate their growth. A company like a well established company, let's say for example PP Jewelers, or let's say any Pothi Sari or Nalli Sari, these are big brands already, 50, 60 years of legacy. They are at already maturity stage. They know now I need to elongate my maturity of the product. I am well established in the industry. Now I just need to maintain that position of top three, top five in the industry, right? So that's where the product life cycle also comes into the picture. It really depends on the age of the company as well, right? Startups would want to grow crazy every year, but a well established brand would want to maintain their top five, top three designation or their position in the market as long as possible. So both the answers are absolutely right. It really depends on the age of the organization, right? Super. I see a question. How to decide now the company's which stage of its cycle? You get to know that when you study a particular company, right? When you study a particular company, you get to know what kind of stage they are in. Okay, it's a 50, 60-year-old company doing 1,000 crore rupees business, has a gross profit of 80%, has a net profit of 35%. You know it's a mature company. If I tell you, okay, so to your question, Dream 11, right? Dream 11, you all know what is Dream 11. You watch cricket. It's a game app. It's a betting app, whatever you call it. Okay. Dream 11 is in what stage of their age, or what age? Are they a new growing company, or are they a mature company? Dream 11. It's a question to everybody, specifically to Yogini. You will answer yourself. Dream 11 is a new age growing company or a well established mature company? Aditya says mature company. Acha, okay. Maybe I'm too old then. If Dream 11 is a mature company, then I am maybe too old. Bhumika, they're not yet mature. The industry itself is growing at 200%. How can a company be mature in online gaming and online betting? इंडस्ट्री नहीं बनी अभी तक तो इंडिया में. The industry is building right now. It's still growing. It's just in cricket. There are 10,000 sports. They're just doing cricket right now. That too, they only work when there's an Indian match. You would see very less people on Dream 11 in an Australia versus New Zealand match. People are not, people are there, but they're not as addicted to something what happens in an India match. So they're still growing company. If they would have been a mature company, they would have people playing for every possible match. Right now, majority of people only play the India match. People are not playing New Zealand versus Bangladesh on Dream 11, right? People are, but not in the same. So it's still a growing company. The industry itself is growing. The company is so new, it's growing. So that is how you figure out. That is how you figure out if the company is growing, if the company is old, mature. You know what's happening to the industry, what's happening to the company. Do I know about this company? When was it started? What kind of revenues they are doing? What is the potential of this company? All of that depends or decides the age of the company, right? The second thing was value chain analysis. Again, very interesting topic, which talks about one simple thing. Value chain analysis talks about one simple thing, that boss, pick up one process in your entire business operations. Okay. There are so many business operations. Just pick up one process of your business and be the best at it. It can be delivery of product. It can be design, right? It can be operations, it can be procurement, it can be marketing, it can be services, after sales services, it can be support actions like HR management, firm infrastructure, designing, procurement, technology. Pick up anything from the box above, which is a part of your operations, and be so good at it that it becomes your competitive advantage. Something which is so unique and valued by the customer that people want to pay more money for it. For example, Blinkit says, I will deliver the product within 10 minutes of you ordering, but I will charge 50 rupees for it. You say, okay, that's fine because you're delivering in 50 minutes. Domino's says, you order, if we do not deliver within 30 minutes, your pizza is free. That's their value chain analysis, that this is where we can charge more money from the customer by giving them extra value, extra value, and they're creating this value by being extremely efficient in their kitchen management. The order comes and they start making a pizza. There's a step by step process. Within 7 8 minutes, the pizza is out for delivery. The delivery guy takes 15 to 20 minutes and they reach the home before 30 minutes. They are so efficient and well planned and well structured. That is their competitive advantage. And that is why they are winning the game of pizza in India, right? Or the globe as well. Same for McDonald's, standardization, right? Any business you pick up, any business, not just food, be it clothes, be it phones, be it anything, home decor, headphones, technology, software development, any business which is doing better than the competitors is because they have picked up one process, right? And they are extremely good at it. And that's called value chain analysis. And that is why they can charge a lot of more money from the customers by telling them, boss, listen, we are so good at it that you will love this. Okay. And people say, I know you're really good at it and you deserve the money, right? That's what the kind of marketing, that's what the kind of experience they give to the customer, that they want, they feel they have gained some value and they want to give you more money. And that's where the value chain analysis is. Okay. Great. Absolutely, Parth. Now they have a GST tax notice. So political barrier, pestle analysis करना पड़ेगा Dream 11 को. Awesome. Super. Thanks, Uncle. I think I know a lot of South brands as well because I've stayed there, so I know a lot about that. Good to see you also know about those. Thanks, Hardik, for Googling and telling us, right? 3,841 crore rupees of revenue, right? That's such an inflated revenue. That's amount of transactions that happen on the app. बहुत इतना revenue होता ना अभी, they wouldn't be getting such notices. Why Amazon and Netflix is still not generating cash flow even though they are generating huge revenues? That's interesting because the outflow is equally high. Amazon has a lot of logistics costs, salary costs, technology costs. Amazon spends a lot on quality. Okay. Amazon spends huge amount of money on maintaining quality, so they have a very high outflow as well. Even for Netflix, they have a lot of cash outflow for buying the rights of the shows and brands and all the movies and good shows that you see. They have to buy rights, exclusive rights, not just rights, it's exclusive rights, and they're really costly. They're really costly, right? Now imagine somebody comes and let's say you made a fantastic note. Okay, so let's say you are preparing for your examinations and you have created a fantastic register of all the notes. Somebody comes and says, boss, give me this register, I will have the right to distribute and print and give these notes to every student in India, right? But only I will have this right. Neither you, neither anybody else can do that. I will only have the right to sell the notes that you have made to everybody in India, every student in India. You would want to charge them really good money, right? You would say, boss, even I will not have right of distribution. Nobody, I cannot share with anybody else. Only you exclusively will have the right. Then I will charge 100 crores, right? You would want to charge so much money from them. And that's what happens with Netflix and all the OTT platforms as well. That's why they're charging 1,000 rupees, 1,200 rupees for subscription. Tech markets are always growing and never at their maturity. Not necessarily, Weber, not necessarily. Tech markets are always growing, but the rate, see, maturity. Now you are missing one important thing is maturity doesn't mean no growth. It means slower than earlier growth. See, maturity is still growing, my friend. Maturity, we're not saying maturity is not flat. Maturity is not flat. Maturity is still growing, but at a slower rate, right? If this is like 10% growth, this will be like 2 to 3% growth. That's the only difference. That's the only difference, right? 10% growth versus 2 to 3% growth. It's still growing. It is still growing. Super. Absolutely, you can do that, right? Settling abroad, doing a CPA, or that's fantastic. It's really your choice, and a lot of my friends have done that. So you can do that as well, right? And it's really, really good if you want to settle outside, right? But let me tell you, next 10 to 20 years are for India, but it's fine. It's your personal choice, and you can absolutely do that. After CA Inter also, after CA, just read the eligibility for CPA, and that should be good too. How to prepare this subject for examination? Just hang on around for these classes, go home, study the study material, solve a lot of questions, and you're good to go. Cool. Question on your screen. Sony PlayStation is almost at the end of its life, right? Online platforms have disrupted it, man. Who is this person that you see on your screen? Rohit, we'll study about how to write answers and all of that. We have a specific session for that. So hang on around with us. We have many more classes. You have a lot of time to spend with me, right? So we'll do everything possible for you. Right now, tell me who is this person on your screen. Ritu says, I got an answer from Ritu, but I'll not call it out. Ritu, but you're right. Hmm. Ankur says, you don't know, no problem. Aditya says, hint. A hint is you would have heard his name in strategy. You would have known this person from your business studies syllabus in CBSC, right? But no, I'm pretty sure nobody had ever seen his face, or nobody would have shown his face like this. This is not Jerome Powell. I see a lot of answers coming in, and those are right. Rahul says this is corporate Santa. Very nice. Cool. This is Michael Potter. This is Michael Potter, right? The father of strategic management concept of understanding industry, right? The competitive strategy was built by this man. Okay, this person built the competitive strategy for organization. It's a general competitive strategy. That means if you're entering a new industry, if you want to exit a new industry, if you're existing in an industry and you see a lot of competition around, how do you analyze the competition in your industry? How do you analyze your strategy when there is so much competition? Okay, this guy is Michael Potter. Now, Michael Potter has called out five forces of competition. He says, when you feel any of these five forces, you should know there is huge competition in the industry. Number one, when you see the existing competition is leveling up, when the existing competition in the industry is doing something creative, is innovating, is bringing new techniques, right? That means the industry is getting really hot competitive. Okay, that's one. Number two, the power of the supplier. If the suppliers are becoming powerful, be very sure because the market is becoming really, really tough. Number three, the customers are becoming powerful. Again, the market is becoming tough. You have to strategize very smartly to sustain and succeed in the industry or in that business. Number four, threat of new entrants. A lot of new companies have started coming into your segment. That means the opportunity is huge and so is the competition. So gear up, start preparing, start strategizing because a lot of new companies will come and take away your market share. Number five, threat of substitute products, right? You are making something, somebody creates something else and tells people it does the same thing. You should buy my product and not that product. And people start going to that product. And then you lose your market, you lose your business, right? That is Michael Porter's five forces of competition, or five competitive forces that any organization, any brand, any company, any enterprise needs to be aware of or needs to analyze in depth. And that is what we are also going to do in the next 10-15 minutes. Okay. Great. You have completed MBA in finance from Utkarsh University. Awesome. Awesome, Santosh. Good to see that. You should be really answering a lot of, giving us a lot of information, right? Which I am missing. I'll be happy to take anything which you know, which I'm not able to tell or explain here, and then we can share it with everybody. That would be really helpful for all of us. Great. Number one, the threat of new entrants. Okay. The threat of new entrants. You beat new entrants when there is a threat of new people climbing to get that trophy, right? I've created this as new people trying to get your trophy or your business. How do you manage the threat of new entrants? Okay. Before I go into this topic, let me see how creative you are. My question to you is, you are a company which is seeing a lot of new companies entering your industry. You see a lot of new businesses entering your industry, your business. Okay. How would you ensure, how would you ensure that you beat them in competition, or how would you strategize around it? How would you strategize when you see a lot of new companies are getting into your business? What are the different tricks or what are the different strategies you would want to employ? Let's see how creative you are. And then we get to what Michael Porter said. Maybe we are smarter than Porter. Who knows? Maybe we have ideas better than Porter. Price game will help moderate our products. Okay. Which means moderate our products means, Nagaraju? What does moderate means? Change or innovate or design, redesign? Price game will help. Rutraj says price game will help. So you're saying you bring the prices down so that the new companies have to charge less price and they will be out of the business. Okay. Low price, high quality product differentiation. Okay. Creating barriers by reducing the price or improving technology which cannot be used by others. Decrease the price, better products, better quality, make dynamic product, innovation, being proactive, innovative, product quality and prices. Absolutely. Add value to product, innovate, strengthen our competitive advantage. For more techniques of customer satisfaction, कि customer को satisfy रखने के और तरीके ढूंढेंगे, ठीक है जी. Reduce the price of products, modification in product, improve quality, almost there in the same line, right? Quality and pricing, customer satisfaction. Awesome. Great. That's right. That's what we can do. That's what we can as a business and organization or as a brand we can do. Now, Michael Porter says you can do absolutely the same thing what you all said with a few more tricks. Okay. He said number one, the simplest thing is create entry barriers. When you see a threat of new entrants, simply make entry barriers. Make it difficult for the new entrants to enter the industry. Make it difficult for the new entrants to enter the industry. Now, the question is how? How do I do that? Number one, capital requirement. Number one is capital requirement. What this means is, what this means is really simple. Capital requirement means I don't know what's happening with it. Okay. So high capital needs restrict new entrants benefiting existing firms. A cement industry, a clothing industry, right? A cell phone manufacturing industry. Not anybody and everybody can start a cell phone manufacturing company. Not anybody, everybody can start a cement industry or let's say huge steel industry or mining industry. It's very difficult. People can start homemade achar. You see a lot of companies in Shark Tank India. We are making face creams, we are making hand wash, we are making designer t-shirts, we are making specs, we are making earphones. Fine, those are small consumer goods that do not really need huge investment. But companies like cement, cell phones, or big industries, right? Big, huge packaging industries, like any big product that you pick up, they need a lot of capital. So high capital needs restrict new entrants, right? And that benefits the existing firms. So now Michael Porter says, now listen, my friend, if you see a lot of new companies entering into your business, do not panic a lot, because if you are in an industry which needs a lot of capital, then you should know these companies are not going to sustain longer because they need a lot of money. Unless they have a lot of money, then you figure out how you compete with them. But one big entry barrier for some industries when you're analyzing your competition, right? When you see a new company entering into your business, but you know it will take them 1000 crore rupees to just set up a plant. So you know they're already under loan, they will have huge debt. So that will take time for them to come and build and establish their brand, right? So you shouldn't just panic and start doing hum kya kare. No, sit down, relax, and see what's happening. So sometimes you do not have to respond quickly. It's about analyzing and seeing what's happening, and then you take a call. That's what this guy says. Look at the industry you are in and decide how competitive things are going to be. Number two, economies of scale. Increase your volumes, right? Economies of scale means your per unit cost of producing a particular thing drops when your volume increases. The more volumes you have, the better cost you will have. So some companies like Coca-Cola, like Lay's, like Cadbury, or Kit Kat for that matter, these companies, or Balaji Namkeen, Haldiram Namkeen, right? Why does all these companies, or you go to A to B in South, people from South would know A to B as well, right? Why are these brands able to sustain even when there are so many other sweet shops and fast food shops and whatever it is? Why are they able to do that? Because because they have economies of scale. They are making huge volumes. 15 crore bottles every day, 10 crore packets of chips every day. And per unit cost of making a packet of chips is just 2 3 rupees, and they're selling it for 10 rupees. Somebody starting a new chips packet or new chips manufacturing Lays kind of a thing, wafers, the cost will be 7 to 8 rupees, and they cannot charge 10 rupees. They will be in huge losses, right? So these companies have created entry barriers. They have created entry barriers by being huge in terms of volumes, right? By being huge in terms of volumes. Same thing with Tata Motors and Maruti. Somebody wanting to start a car manufacturing or a car company will take huge amount of money to build a factory, huge investment, number one. Number two, they will need to have a lot of volume. Now somebody says, I want to start a car company. They say, how many orders do you have? They say, I have 200 orders. Are you going to set up an entire factory to just make 200 cars? You will be out of business, right? But if you have an order, so why do you think cars have a lead time of 6 months or 7 months? If you go and want to buy a new Baleno, if you want to go buy a new Mahindra XUV 700, they will say, boss, it will take 6 months to deliver. Why? Because they're booking their orders right now so that they know how many cars we have to produce, so that they're not wasting their resources, because it's really costly. It's really costly, right? So they are building that inventory order so that their economies of scales becomes more intact, and they create an entry barrier for the competition. That's what these companies are doing, right? Another perspective when we are studying Michael Porter is, very carefully, another aspect that is important when we are studying this entire Michael Porter thing is, think from both the companies. One, who are already working, Number two, who are wanting to enter the industry as well. If you are a new age car maker, you would see all of these as challenges to enter a particular industry. Like capital requirement is there, economies of scale is there. I don't have so much volumes. How will I enter? How will I compete? You cannot. You have to analyze this. You have to strategize this. Okay. Number three, product differentiation. You all know what this is. Create something unique which actually attracts the customer more, right? You start, that's an entry barrier. Now, somebody comes and says, my phone is better than an iPhone. People are like, come on, man, right? We know how good an iPhone is or how good a Samsung phone is. The Samsung camera, even iPhones cannot beat Samsung cameras, right? Somebody comes and says, listen, my camera is better than Samsung. People are like, boss, come, right? You have to create something unique which is valued by the customer, right? And it's tough. So now Samsung enjoys this entry barrier. No company can come and claim that my camera is better than Samsung, even if it is. Now people know Samsung's camera is the best. It's an entry barrier. No new company can come and beat Samsung now in camera quality in phones. They have created a barrier for new companies. That's how these companies work, right? Number four, very interesting, is switching cost. This is called switching cost. You know what a switching cost is? Who will explain? Give me an example of switching cost. Absolutely. Samsung has built foldable phones. Mahindra Thar booking of 6 months, right? These companies are creating entry barriers. The question is, what is give me an example. Don't tell me what a switching cost is. Give me an example of switching cost. That's what Geo is doing to stop Starlink in India. That's right. Hi Devraj. Too late, but happy to see you here. That's a great one, Rashna. Changing software from busy to tally in accounting firms. That's right. To move from one product to other. But give me some examples, Prince. Switching to different industry. No. Switching one from one supplier to another. No. Switching from one thing to another. Yes, but how is it an entry barrier? Free delivery. Is that a switching cost? No. Buying a new SIM of other company means losing prepaid balance. No, not really. Not really. You will get that refunded aajkal to in your wallets. Paytm wallet or Airtel wallet, you will get that. Switching cost is very simple. Okay, let me absolutely. I see a good one from Prince. Android and Windows to iPhone and MacBook, right? That's a switching cost. Switching cost as simple is you create something unique for the customer that they have to learn. Okay. Now you build an ecosystem where people are used to the things that you do. Okay. And now, if the customer has to go to a different product, a different brand, they will have to relearn a lot of things. They have to relearn a lot of things. And the customer does not have time to learn something new from another brand. So you have actually created a barrier, right? For somebody, for some other brand to enter your customer's mind because you have taught them a way of thing. That's called switching cost. That's called switching cost. Classic example is, right? Pen. I know a lot of us do not realize this, but all of us have a favorite pen, right? Somebody will have an Ad Gel, somebody will have an Pilot V7, somebody will have Pilot V5, somebody will have a ball pen, somebody will have a Reynolds pen. We all have a favorite pen. Okay. Changing to a different pen means changing my way of writing, my color, my ink color, my design, my beautification of my exam paper or my notes. And a lot of us are not interested in doing that. We don't want to switch to a new pen because we are so used to our own pen, that ink, that style, that length, that depth of the ink. किसी को पतला चाहिए, somebody wants a thicker ink, somebody wants a lighter ink, somebody wants color, somebody wants black, right? This is called switching cost. Now, those brands have all the customers that use that particular product are not ready to switch to a different pen because they're so comfortable with that. Even if they know that the other pen might be good, you might agree that okay, that pen might also be good, but I don't want to switch. I'm really comfortable with what I am using right now. That's called switching cost. That's called switching costs. Absolutely great example, Beulah, is switching from petrol to electric, right? A lot of people might feel that electric, I don't know if I can manage an electric car, keep charging it, change the batteries and this and that doesn't work. When it rains, it stops, or whatever the problems are. Switching cost. Okay. Buyers face expenses and resistance when switching, inhibiting entry, right? If you if you have created a comfort, if you have created an ecosystem for the customer, that it is difficult for them to exit that and to learn something new or to adapt to something new, it's called switching cost. Great examples from petrol to electric, or from busy to tally software, from Android to from iOS to Android. Great examples there. Those are switching costs. So Microsoft has created entry barrier by creating switching cost. All of us are using Windows. We have Excel, PowerPoint, Word. macOS doesn't have all of those unless you buy a premium version of Microsoft Suite in that, right? And that's really costly. So a lot of people face challenges that, boss, I don't want to use a Mac OS because I have to use Excel and PowerPoint and Word. So I'll better be with my Microsoft based laptop. Designers in your editors, your graphic designers, your UI UX experts, coding experts who are making iOS apps, they will say, boss, I don't understand Windows. I would need a MacBook. That's okay. That's their work, but it's a switching cost. A person has to get out of comfort to learn something new. Okay, even the keyboards are different. Cool. Brand identity. If you have a brand identity, it becomes a barrier of entry for new brands. Absolutely. If you are a big brand name, new companies will face challenges when they want to enter the industry because you are an established brand, right? You are an established brand, so people or things or new entries or the people who want to enter the industry will face this challenge that how do I make the customer love me as well? And I beat this somebody who is already a big brand name. So that's always there. So big companies create a brand identity so as to not allow new companies to enter the industry, right? Last one is distribution channels. Distribution channels is basically a subset of economies of scale where big brands, big companies have such wide distribution network that for new companies it becomes really, really tough to compete with them, right? Now, Coke, Pepsi, Thumbs Up, Mountain Dew. You go to Kedarnath, you go to Kanyakumari, you go to you go to Nagaland somewhere, you go to Kohima, or you go to Run of Kutch in Gujarat. You will have all of these in every shop. Every 1 kilometer, you will see a shop on the road, somebody having soft drinks and chips in their shop. How is that possible? Right? They have a massive distribution channel. A new product would say, I want to be in every shop of India. They say, boss, you know how difficult that is. You cannot beat Coca-Cola. You cannot beat PepsiCo in that. Their distribution network is crazy, right? From Ladakh to Kanyakumari to any part of the world. You go to Indonesia, you have that. You go to Turkey, you have that. You go to Italy, you have that. How? Every shop in Italy will have that, yes. Every shop in India will have that, yes. Every shop in Nepal will have that, yes. कैसे भाई? Distribution channel so strong, so wide that for a new company who wants to enter the industry, they will have to sit back and think, boss, how do we beat this mammoth? Right? That's what has created that's what has created barrier of entry for them in distribution channel. मानसी, हिंदी में क्या जानना है आपको? बताइए कौन सा कॉन्सेप्ट आपको जानना है हिंदी में, वो भी आपको बता देंगे. लेट मी नो द कॉन्सेप्ट. क्या चीज समझ नहीं, ये मत बोलना सब कुछ हिंदी में बता दो. एक कॉन्सेप्ट बताओ जो समझ नहीं आया है. आई विल डू दैट फॉर यू. Like Apple has a brand identity, that's right. There are people who get bored of old things and want to learn new. That's why people switch as well. See, Rahul, we are not saying everybody is not going to switch. People are still switching to electric vehicles. A lot of iOS people are going to Android. A lot of Android people are coming to iOS. It will keep happening. But companies try to create entry barrier. We're not saying they will be always successful. It doesn't mean that nobody can come and beat Coca-Cola or PepsiCo. Anybody can who has the money and network. Now, tomorrow, think about this. Think about this, Rahul. Okay, that's a great point that you bring it up. Okay, how will somebody beat Pepsi and how will somebody beat this Coca-Cola in distribution when they're so good at it? See, I can say the counter is, what if Patanjali brings soft drinks? Patanjali has a network as well. The moment Patanjali uses its distribution network and says, boss, listen, I have a better soft drink for you than Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and I'm going to use my entire distribution channel, which is also now huge, equally competitive. They'll say, boss, every shop where you have a Patanjali product will now also have the Patanjali soft drink, already disrupting Coca-Cola and Pepsi then. Now, these companies, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, will be a little scared that, boss, they are coming into the market. Our competitive advantage, our entry barrier was distribution channel. And somebody with an existing distribution channel is coming for our market share. Simple. Element of macro. एलिमेंट ऑफ मैक्रो समझना आपको. सोशियो कल्चरल, डेमोग्राफिक. डेमोग्राफिक मतलब पॉपुलेशन की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है, मानसी, राइट? एज क्या है, रेस क्या है, इनकम क्या है, उसको बोलते हैं डेमोग्राफिक. सोशियो कल्चरल, वहाँ के वैल्यूज, सोशल सिस्टम क्या है, वहाँ का धर्म क्या है, वहाँ के लोग सोचते क्या है, सोच कैसी है, राइट? उसके बेसिस पे सोशियो कल्चरल होता है. टेक्नोलॉजिकल मतलब वहाँ की टेक्नोलॉजी, इनोवेशन कंट्री की कैसी है. लीगल, आपको पता ही है, लॉ, जीएसटी, कंप्लायंस कैसी है, क्या यहाँ पे बिजनेस करना टफ है या इजी है, राइट? दैट इज योर लीगल पॉलिटिकल, राइट? दैट टेक्नोलॉजिकल हो गया आपका. देन आपका हो गया डेमोग्राफिक हो गया, एंड सोशो कल्चरल हो गया. दीज आर योर एलिमेंट्स ऑफ मैक्रो. कि कोई भी बिजनेस अगर अपना एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट देख रहा है, सो हाउ डू दे एनालाइज दैट? ओके, एंड वी हैव गिवन एम्पल एग्जांपल्स फॉर इट एज वेल. Patanjali is at maturity stage. Absolutely, yes. They're already there, but they're growing. Again, maturity does not mean stability. Maturity means still growing, but at a lower stage, at a lower percentage. Still growing. Okay, please remember that. Supremacy. What about Maggie? Access to distribution channel? Absolutely, yes. Same thing. Great. That's number one, threat of new entrant. The second competitive force by Michael Porter G is bargaining power of the buyer. Now, bargaining power of the buyer exists when? आ जाइए, आपसे पूछते हैं पहले. You're welcome, Mansi. Cool. Let me know if you have anybody has any doubt you want me to explain slowly or in your language. I can do that. Concept should be clear. Now, the question to you is, we are talking about Customer's bargaining power. We're talking about the bargaining power of the customer. When do you think a customer is more powerful than the seller? When do you think, when do you think the customer is more powerful than the seller? When is a customer more powerful than the seller? Fevicol has less competition, right, Prince? Switching cost है. People brand identity है. Fevicol has a lot of brand identity. People, nobody says uh, gum लेके आओ. Nobody says get me an adhesive. They say Fevicol लगा दो, right? That's brand identity. Okay. Customer has more power when high price and not to the quality. Okay. When there is competition or substitutes, no. Bargaining for the consumer is high when there are lots of varieties with competitive prices. Absolutely, yes. When the buyer is experienced one, yes. When the customer has information about the product, yes. When he has a lot of substitutes, I wouldn't say substitutes, I would say options. Substitutes are different than variety. When there are more suppliers, that's right. Customer is more powerful in Sabji Mandi. Very nice, Mamta. Mamta Giri, abhi it's 8 a.m. I can only think of Sabji Mandi. So let me give an example of Sabji Mandi. ठीक है जी. When the buyer has many options to choose from. That's right. When the customer has knowledge about the product. Multiple sellers, when product is not good but the price is higher, as we have to offer the product and services to the customer. Okay. What else? समझते हैं आइए. Let's learn this very quickly. The bargaining power of the buyer exists when number one, information. Number one is information. The buyer are well informed about the product, sources, and substitutes. That means हमारे पास information है. I know where the product is made, what is the costing of the product. Somebody, okay, now listen to this very carefully. Now, somebody knows Amul milk. How much is 1 liter of Amul milk? Just asking you guys, or what's the cost of 1 liter of milk? Random. Let's see if you guys know this or not. What's the cost or what's the price? Maybe not the cost, but what's the price of 1 liter milk? It can be any brand. It can be Nandini, it can be Paras, it can be Amul, Mother Dairy, whatever your area has. What's the general cost? 66, 52, depends on full toned or right that toned milk or light, whatever you're taking, skimmed milk or whatever. Full cream hai ya toned hai, double toned hai, whatever the price is, but 66, 36, 52, right? You know the price, right? 50 to 60, 55, 70, 58, 60, 44, 54, 70 to 80 rupees, right? Correct? Now you know the price. See, everybody knows the price 58, 56, 57, 50, whatever the price you're saying for the kind of milk you buy. It's called information to the buyer. Now, I come and tell you, boss, listen. I come and tell you, listen, I will give you milk for 110 rupees 1 liter. I am going to sell you milk at 110 rupees for 1 liter. Are you going to buy? Same milk. Same milk, but packaging अच्छी कर दी मैंने. Right? What I've done is, what I've done is, I have created a very designer packing. बहुत बहुत सुंदर I've done a packing. It's a beautiful aesthetic packing. And I'm saying the same milk. The milk is same. I will sell it for 110 rupees. Will you buy? Ashok, I can see your chat as well. Yes, I can see your chat. Great, Rachna. Good to see you here. You're living your life. Absolutely. Everybody says no. नहीं चाहिए. दिव्या says नहीं चाहिए इतना महंगा तो ठीक है दिव्या. Sorry. ज्यादा महंगा कर दिया हमने. Okay. Majority of Ruturaj says I will buy a cow. I'll buy a cow instead of buying your milk. Ruturaj, why are you fighting me, dost? I'm just trying to do some business here. Absolutely nobody is gonna buy my product. Because the buyer is more powerful here. They know the pricing of the market. Simple. That's what Michael Porter is saying. The buyer is more powerful than the seller when they have information about the market. कि भाई 50 to 60 rupees का है, why are you charging 110 rupees? I don't want to buy. Simple. The buyer is more powerful. I am telling you, see, my packaging is so beautiful. This is so organic. This is recyclable packaging. You're like, I don't care. 110 rupees, I'm not paying. Because the buyer is informed. The buyer has information about prices, about costing. Buyer knows milk cannot cost 100 rupees for them to make. It will be 30, 40 rupees. Can charge 50, 60 rupees for distribution and whatever cost you have. You can't charge 110 rupees, right? Why? Because you have information. The buyer has information, right? The buyer has information, and that's why they will not buy. Ashok, I might be missing you, but I'm not ignoring you. ये कैसी बात है, Ashok? Why will I ignore you? I'm reading all the chat. See, I'm answering you. Absolutely no, unless there is a change of quality or something else, you're not going to buy my product. That's number one. Information to the buyer. That's where the buyer is more powerful. Number two is significant spending. Buyer are major purchaser in the industry. That means the buyer has the power. Okay. Now, another example देते हैं आपको. You are a manufacturer of, या फिर ऐसे नहीं ऐसे, let me give you one example. I don't know if you have heard this or read this news. Recently, I was reading this news. There is a workshop in Kerala. There's a workshop in Kerala that makes army and police uniforms for Israel. Okay. Now Israel is at war, but so there was this news that one tailor has a workshop in Kerala, and he makes all the uniforms of Israel's army and police force. It goes from Kerala, and they make about 1 lakh t-shirts and shirts, right? They make 1 lakh t-shirts and shirts every year for the Israeli Defense Forces. ठीक है जी? Now, ठीक है? Now, for this company or for this person, right? Israeli government or defense force is a very powerful buyer. Is a very powerful buyer because 99% of the revenue for his business is coming from them. When 99% of the business is coming from them, then the buyer, that is the Israeli Defense Force, will have their terms and conditions. They will say, boss, listen, we will only pay 500 rupees per set of shirt and a pant. That's it. We're not going to pay more, right? You have to deliver it yourself. Any wastage goes back to you. We are not taking any torn shirts, and anything that is damaged is your cost. You have to deliver it to my port, right? Every year I will change the color. You have to change the color as well. Use this thread. I want this quality. The terms and conditions are dictated by the buyer because a buyer does a significant spending for you, right? They're one of the biggest buyers for you. So you will be like, okay, that's what I'll have to do because most of my business comes from you. So the buyer is more powerful. The buyer is more powerful, and you do not really have a lot of say in your business now. Cool. That is where this competitive force comes into the play. Number two is, one, the buyer has information. Number two, when the buyer is one of the biggest buyers for you, the majority of the business comes from you, then you will be like, boss, tell me what I need to do, right? That's how business is. That's number two. Number three is product importance, right? Product importance is another aspect. Now, industry's product isn't vital to the buyer, and they're concentrated, making it easy to switch to alternatives. That means, can we say it as bulk order? That's right. Okay. Buyers can easily switch to substitutes. That's Nishad, we'll go to substitutes. That's a different uh, force altogether. Right now, I'm saying product importance. Product importance is if the product is not important to the buyer, then the buyer has more power. Okay. Now, for example, when the buyer does not really want your product, then the buyer is more powerful. Somebody selling, somebody selling a particular product, right, which is not needed by the buyer, then you will be like, please buy, this is good, that is good, we do this, this product can do this. You will have to upsell a lot. You will have to convince them a lot. And the buyer will be like, no, I don't need this, I don't use this, I don't want this, I've never used this. They will be more powerful. So the seller will have to be, please buy, please buy, please buy. That is where the competitive force comes into the picture. That is where another force of competition comes into the picture, because it's difficult for you to do the business. You have to understand that as a new company starting up as well, this is not just about existing companies. Michael Porter is not just about existing companies, it's also about new companies who are wanting to start up. Okay. Now, if a product is not so important for your customer, then you will have a hard time selling that product. It's going to be a tough, difficult business. That's what your competitive analysis is. That is, I'm getting into a tough business. It's going to take a lot of time for me to sell this product to people because people don't really need it. Selling dishwasher in India is a really tough product, right? Selling a dishwasher in India is a really tough. We have people who come to our houses and they help with washing utensils and cleaning our houses. That's how India is. That's how system here is, right? We don't really need a dishwasher. We have people to help us. We do it ourselves, right? That's culturally there. We are happy to do it ourselves, or we have helpers at home. That's how the society works for us. Now, somebody comes and says, I will sell, see, 150 crore Indians, I will sell dishwasher to every Indian. Such a big market. People are like, are you stupid? People, the product is not of importance to the Indian customer. You cannot just sell dishwasher to every Indian. That too for rupees 8 lakh. 8 lakh rupees for a dishwasher, nobody's going to buy that. People are paying 8 lakh the life in lifetime to their house help, right? 50 years may they will pay 8 lakh rupees to the house help, and you're saying you'll buy a dishwasher for 8 lakhs. Nobody's gonna buy that. Okay. So the product is not of importance. That's a competitive force that you have to understand. Similar lines, the power of the supplier. अभी buyer के बारे में पढ़ा. Now let's switch roles and see when the supplier is more powerful. Number one, their product is crucial to the buyer and substitutes are not available. Dolo, Crocin, Paracetamol, Combiflam. These products are crucial to the buyer. If you have a fever, if you have a cough, you have a joint pain, you're not feeling well, two, three brands only. You will either buy a Crocin or a Dolo or a Combiflam, right? No, not much substitutes available in the market. And these products are crucial to the buyer. You will buy them. The supplier. If tomorrow Crocin says that, boss, one tablet is 100 rupees. Dolo says, okay, I will also do 100 rupees. And Combiflam says, I will also do 100 rupees. You and me do not have a choice. You and me do not have a choice. We will have to buy for 100 rupees. The supplier, the seller has more power here. These products are crucial to us. Electricity is crucial to us, right? Supplies for our limited product offers only available for a limited period. That's right. That's also seller's power. Flipkart uh, big billion days. Seller is more powerful. They have more power over the customer. उन दिनों during the big billion days, Flipkart really plays with your brain. Okay, we all are like zombies. Oh, we don't understand what kind of pricing this is. I always wanted to buy this. The price has dropped. Let me buy this. They will make you buy everything that was there in your wish list, that was there in your cart. They will make you buy it. Power of the supplier, right? The second is they can erect high switching costs. Okay, they can erect high switching costs. Now, the second part of that Israel Defense Force uh, uniform maker in Kerala can be, now this person says, boss, listen, I make 1 lakh pieces for you. And that person starts using a really high quality product for the uniform. Okay. Even if that reduces the margin, even if that reduces the margin for that person, what he is doing is he's erecting a high switching cost. Now, the Israeli Defense Force, if has to switch to somebody else, they will say, I want this quality of product at this price. The new person will say, not possible. I don't want to lose money. The margins will be very less. I don't want to do this business. And then this Kerala man will like, okay, now you tell me. My price is 700 rupees now because I am giving you high quality. He or she is erecting a high switching cost when you are the supplier. It can be reverse also. This is where the business comes. This is where strategy comes. Every single day, the buyer is trying to buy the best product at the least price. The seller is trying to sell a bare minimum product at a high price. That's where the war is, right? The seller wants to sell a low cost product at a high price. The customer wants to buy a high cost product at a low price. यही तो tussle है. This is where the business, both the parties are actually strategizing. And this is where one of them will always be in a better position than the other based on these criterias, right? Number three, they are more concentrated than the buyers. That means very few suppliers. COVID vaccines, you can either take Covishield or you can take Covaxin. I want to take a third one, not available. Hey, nahi. There's nothing as a third option. Either you take Covaxin or you take Covishield, right? That's the power of the supplier. That is power of the supplier. That, boss, there is no another. They're super concentrated. Just one or two people. You want to buy something online, Amazon or Flipkart. Power of the supplier. Okay. This is what happens. You will either go to Amazon or you will go to Flipkart. There is no third option. Okay. Great. Any questions or we go to the next one? Monopoly, not really monopoly, but just cases of monopoly as well. Net packs of Geo have increased. Airtel, what crazy prices. I was trying to do a recharge yesterday. The prices are crazy. 800 rupees for 80 days. I'm like, boss, who is paying this? Amazon and Flipkart both offer, but the consumer choose place. That is the supplier power. Either you just have two options, man. You might feel that I am being smart by either switching to Amazon or Flipkart. At the end of the day, you just have two options. Where else will you go? देवेंद्र, आपको ये हिंदी में समझना है? Let me just spend 30 seconds. Sorry to those who do not understand Hindi, but let me just explain this to people who want this in Hindi in 30 seconds. देवेंद्र, परचेजिंग पावर ऑफ द सप्लायर, मतलब सप्लायर कब आपका ज्यादा ताकतवर होता है या बायर आपका कब ज्यादा ताकतवर होता है, वो हम समझ रहे थे. बायर कब ताकतवर होता है? जब या तो बायर के पास बहुत ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन है, बायर को मार्केट का समझ, मार्केट की समझ है और मार्केट को समझता है, तब तो वो ज्यादा पावरफुल होगा. अब आप किसी शॉपकीपर को जाके बोलेंगे कि यार ये आपका माल 100 रुपए का, आप 10,000 का कैसे बेच सकते हो? राइट, बिकॉज आपको पता है ये 100 रुपए का है. तो आप जाके उससे नेगोशिएट कर सकते हो, जो पावरफुल. ओके. या फिर आप इकलौते बंदे हो जो उससे खरीदते हो, या बल्क ऑर्डर्स में खरीद रहे हो, तो यू विल गो एंड से यार मैं बल्क में खरीद रहा हूँ, मेरा प्राइस कम करो. राइट. नंबर थ्री इज, प्रोडक्ट की इंपॉर्टेंस ही नहीं है. आपको कोई बोले यार घाघरा चोली खरीदिए, आप कहोगे मेरे को क्या करना है, कहेगा नहीं नहीं आप गिफ्ट कीजिएगा अपने घर में अपनी मम्मी सिस्टर, गिव इट टू योर गर्लफ्रेंड, हमको क्या है. राइट, दे सेलिंग, ट्राइंग टू सेल अ प्रोडक्ट विच इज नॉट ऑफ इम्पोर्टेंस टू यू. आपको घाघरा चोली बेचने के आगे गिफ्ट कर देना, आप खरीदोगे ही नहीं, बिकॉज यू आर पावरफुल, यू डोंट नीड दैट प्रोडक्ट. ओके. दैट इज द प्रोडक्ट इंपॉर्टेंस। तो वहां पे बायर पावरफुल होता है, सप्लायर का पावरफुल होता है व्हेन द प्रोडक्ट्स आर क्रूशियल फॉर द राइट बायर के लिए। जैसे दवाइयां हैं, तो कुछ भी प्राइस होगा आपको लेना ही पड़ेगा, दवाई का कुछ भी प्राइस हो आपको खरीदना ही पड़ेगा। सेकंड इज स्विचिंग कॉस्ट इरेक्ट कर देते हैं, दैट मीन्स आपको किसी और प्रोडक्ट किसी और सप्लायर के पास जाना है तो आपको बहुत ज्यादा झमेला होगा, राइट। व्हाट यू विल हैव टू डू इज कंप्लायंस होगा, प्राइसिंग चेंज करो, बिहेवियर चेंज करो, फिर से नेगोशिएट करो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस। बहुत ज्यादा इरिटेशन होगी आपको, यार फिर से क्यों सारा काम करूं। दैट इज स्विचिंग कॉस्ट। नंबर थ्री इज कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड, सो सप्लायर्स आर लेस, बायर्स आर मोर। कम लोग बेच रहे हैं बहुत सारे लोगों को, दैट इज वेयर द सप्लायर विल हैव मोर पावर, राइट। आपके एरिया में अगर सिर्फ दो दुकानें जो फ्रिज बेचती हैं या टीवी बेचती हैं, राइट, आपको उन्हीं से खरीदना पड़ेगा। सो दे हैव मोर पावर। अब दोनों ने प्राइस अगर बढ़ा के रखा है तो आपको बढ़ा हुआ प्राइस ही लेना पड़ेगा। दैट इज दे आर मोर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड देन द बायर। what we are studying right now is Michael Porter, right? That is what Michael Porter competitive forces in an industry. We have talked about three forces. We have talked about threat of new entries, customer power, and supplier power. ठीक है जी? That is what we are doing right now. Cool. I think it's 8:26. It's time we take a short break as well, and then we come and continue. We'll complete our chapter 2 today, right? We just have two, three more topics. Very quickly, we'll complete those as well. All right, before I go to break, let me just see the chat and then we go on a break. Okay, crystal clear, super. Thanks, Priyanka. Like Ola, they have a strategy to give option to a buyer to pay later after the ride, but without pay the outstanding amount of the customer won't be able to book another ride. Right? Now that's an operational strategy. That is how they want to ensure people are paying their money. Okay. Navanya, I do not really know any South languages, but I just know a few words, not the entire sentence formation. I've not learned that, but I really do want to learn, and I do hear to a lot of South songs. So yeah, I know Sid Sri Ram. I hear Benny Dayal also. So I know some people there. Cool. Great. Let's take a short break of 10 minutes. It's 8:27, 28. Let's be back within 10 minutes. And then we start with rivalry among competitors, right? And this is the fourth force in Michael Porter's competitive analysis. Cool. Super. Let's take a 10 minutes break and we will be back. All right, everyone, we are back. I'll just wait for all of you for the next 2 minutes to join in as we continue with our Michael Potter. स्मिता, switching cost in हिंदी is basically जब किसी कस्टमर को किसी और प्रोडक्ट किसी और ब्रांड की आदत डालने के लिए कुछ नया एफर्ट डालना पड़ता है, उसको स्विचिंग कॉस्ट बोलते हैं. Okay? When the customer has to probably get into uh, to learn something new for a new product, उसको बोलते हैं switching cost. Okay. We are back. I'm just waiting for all of you. Just give me a thumbs up, a hello, hi, so that I know you're back too. Good. Divya is back. I want all of you to come back and just give me a thumbs up, a hello, a hi, right? So that I know you're back and we can then quickly start. Great. I see Ramadevi Utraj, Nas Parveen, Divya, Jay, Nikita, Sakshi, Thoti, Priyanka. Ankur, Smita, Tamanna, super. Santika is there. Lakia is there. Divya, super. All right, let's continue with rivalry among competitors, which is force number 4. Okay. Rivalry amongst competitors tends to cut throat and industry profitability reduces, which means when the competitors are competing within themselves, nobody new is coming in, but existing players start fighting with each other. This is where the profitability starts cutting down because it's a price war, it's a product war, it's a customer war, wherein people are actually going and fighting with each other within the industry, right? Tata Motors fighting with Mahindra, right? That's rivalry amongst the competitors. And for anybody who wants to enter an industry where the rivalry among competitors is fierce, right? They should be very aware that it's going to be a tough industry for us as well because the existing players are so like furious, are so like war zone that probably it's very difficult for you as a new company to enter and win that competition because existing players are already really active in competition. Okay, some of the things to consider when we are talking about rivalry among competitors is number one, industry leader. A dominant leader can deter price wars due to financial strength, which means if there is one dominant leader in the industry, they will cut through every person in the industry, right? Maybe it prices, quality, or they would have a lot of probably network with the distributors, a lot of power on the distributors that say, if you help this particular brand as well, I'm going to take away the business from you. They might comply or they might want to employ all these such tricks as well. So when the rivalry among the competitors is huge, you need to figure out when you're entering an industry to see those who is the dominant leader in the industry because they are the one who are going to define a lot of things for the industry, right? They are the one who are going to define a lot of policies, pricing, the way the business is done for the industry. Okay. Number two is number of competitors. If the number of competitors is huge, too many people competing against each other, then it's a crowded market, right? Then it's a crowded market and it's really difficult for you to win because कोई ना कोई तो आपके साथ compete करता रहेगा at any given point in time, and that's going to be tough for you as a company. Fixed costs, okay? High fixed costs drive firms to cut prices and excess capacity, lowering industry profitability. When there is fierce competition, what people do is the fixed cost, they start cutting down the prices by increasing their fixed costs. That means When there is fierce competition, people would want to sell more. When they want to sell more, that means their volumes are increasing. They want to get into economies of scale. To get into economies of scale, they will have to invest more in manufacturing, in units, in building more facilities, more development, more trucks चाहिए और लोग काम करने के लिए चाहिए. You need raw material, you need a bigger factory, you need more people to work in your factory. So you start increasing your fixed cost. And when you start increasing your fixed cost, right, your economies of scales increases, you start cutting down prices, and that's fierce. And that's fierce for somebody entering an industry and they see that people are still investing so much in fixed cost. So it becomes really tough for them because that becomes a capital requirement issue for them, right? Product differentiation. Product differentiation is when rivalry among the competitors is going fierce. Product differentiation can shield firms from price wars. When a lot of people are competing amongst each other, this is happening, that is happening, ये price गिरा दिया, वो offer this free with this. Some companies are like, boss, listen, we are very different, our product is very different. I don't give offers, I don't give discounts, I don't have Diwali bonus discounts and Diwali sales. This is what it is, this is what my brand is. Okay, one of the few examples is, if you go to Tommy Hilfiger, if you go to some big brands, right, you go to like a big brand like an LV, or let's say any big brand, right? They don't have Diwali sale. Why? They say our product is already different. We don't have a Diwali. We don't want to end our stock. We don't want to clear our stock in Diwali. Some shops are doing 50% off. Some shops are doing buy three get 10. तीन का पैसा दो 10 माल उठाओ. There are those shops as well, and that's right. That's their strategy. But some product says, I am a different product. My product is differentiated from other products, and I don't want to chase this competition. I don't want to get into a war of competition. I am a different company altogether, right? That is how differentiation shields firms from price war. ये याद रखना. It's an emphatic. It is frequently asked statement कि भाई, how does differentiation probably shields a firm from price wars? Is because you are already a differentiated product. You can charge different money, or you can charge more money from the customer. Okay. Slower growth industries see fierce rivalry as firms compete for market share. For industries where there is slow growth, when the growth is slow, you will see a lot of competition getting into there, because everybody's fighting for the market share. It's not about growth. If the industry is growing, the competition is not so fierce. Why? Because everybody's growing. Okay. Now think about this. Dream 11, My Circle 11, A2B, Rummy Circle, all of these companies are growing because the industry is growing. There is no competition. Everybody is growing. Industry is growing. Chalo, sab बढ़ जाएंगे. But when the industries are stable, an industry like automotive, an industry like airlines, right? Indigo, Spice, Air Asia, then you have Akasa, then you have Air India. This is a mature industry, slow growth. It's not growing 100% every year, right? It's growing at a CAGR of 7-8% every year. That okay, every year the industry grows by 7-8%. More passengers are coming into, more flights we are investing, more planes we are buying. Right? It's a growing industry, but at a slow growth rate. It's not a massive every year 2x नहीं हो जाता है airline industry, right? There is fierce competition. That is where fierce competition comes in, because everybody wants a market share, because the growth is not so much. You're not growing your business by 2x. So you need to gather more market share. Air India wants the market share of Indigo. Indigo wants the market share of Air India, right? So the rivalry is fierce in terms of getting more market share when the growth is slow. Again, an MFAC, right? What happens to the competition when the industry growth rate is slow? The competition is more because people or businesses are actually fighting for market share. What happens to competition and rivalry when the market growth is high? The competition is relatively low because the industry is itself growing. So everybody will grow. Nobody's too scared about losing market share because market is growing so much. Okay. That is what you have to remember in this. Cool. Threat of substitutes. Substitute products impact on industry. Number one, competition catalyst. Okay. Now, Substitute products can be unexpected, right? And they can intensify the competition in the industry, especially when they offer price advantage or better performance. Somebody opening a halwai, right? Let's say you have a sweet shop which has samosa and bread pakoras and patties and fried idli and this and that in your as a counter. Somebody comes and opens a momo stall in front of you, right? Somebody comes and opens a momo stall in front of you. Now, this is a substitute product. Somebody is going to come and spend 100, 200 rupees. Either they will buy samosa bread pakoda or they will buy momos. Now, momos is a substitute product. It's doing the same thing. It's a snack, it's a fast food. People are there to eat fast food. Now, they have a substitute, right? They have a substitute. Simple, same like soap and shampoo, right? Some people are saying the soap is so good for your skin. Somebody saying use this body wash. Soap use mat karo, body wash use karo, right? Competition, it's a substitute product. A lot of girls will relate, a lot of boys who take care of the skin would relate. I don't take care of my skin, so I don't relate. The point is, some companies are selling soap by saying that, see, it's so cream intensive, it's so good for your skin, buy this soap. And some brands are coming and saying soap is not good for skin, it dries your skin. Use a body wash, use a face wash, use a shampoo, use a scrub. Substitutes create करके they are competing with your product, right? Now, substitute products can unexpectedly intensify competition because of the added advantage or the price advantage. Soap is for rupees 70. They say you try body wash only rupees 100 and works twice as the soap. Soap will last 15-20 days. The body wash will last for 40-45 days. You just have to take one small drop and you can just take a bath with that. They're giving a competitive substitute to your product, right? Tea and coffee. That's right. Second is R&D investment. Industries investing heavily in R&D are susceptible to substitute threats. That means they are prone to substitute threats. If you are innovating yourself, then the threat of substitute is less. If you are innovating yourself, if your company is innovating, if your brand is innovating, then you should not be so scared about substitutes because you are innovating yourself as well. Okay, this is what this means. This is what it means. If you're investing in R&D in innovation yourself, then you should not be so scared about substitutes because you will innovate something as well. Number three, price and profit limitations. Substitutes typically constrain prices and industry profits because जब वो market share ही ले जाएंगे, then they will constrain the prices and industry profits. The profits will start falling because the market share will be taken away by the substitutes. Okay. Identifying substitutes. Firms should spend a lot of time, the marketing department of a brand should spend a lot of time in identifying the substitutes of the existing products of the brand. They should spend time in identifying substitutes, identifying products that serve the same function as the offerings to see where the threat can come from. SWOT analysis, my friend. Threat of substitutes comes under SWOT analysis because it's a threat from external environment. That is your competitor, right? Substitute products should be analyzed always, that this is what can disrupt my business, this is what can disrupt my product. Okay. And that is my friend Michael Porter's 5 forces of competitive analysis, right? Any questions? Or we go to our next topic, which is attractiveness of industry. Any questions, or we go to the next one quickly? I want to complete this chapter today. And we have like 40-45 minutes. We'll do that. Super. Let's go to the next one then. How to use these competitive analysis. If you're a new company, figure out what's happening in the competition landscape. Rivalry hai, threat of substitutes hai, entry barriers hai ki nahi hai. Is there a seller who is powerful or the buyers are powerful in the industry? Analyze all of that before getting into the business. That's how you use this. Cool. Let's get to the next one, which is attractiveness of the industry. Okay. Devendra will do this in Hindi, a concept. I'm not going to repeat the entire thing in Hindi. That's not what we are supposed to do. You need to give your exams in English, right? कोई concept नहीं clear हुआ है वो मुझे बताइए. I'll do that in Hindi. I'm allowed to do that. Okay. Cool. The question to everybody on the chat is, people are not so active right now. I think they're lost interest, but whatever. Okay. The question to you is, which industry is attractive and why? If you had one choice to do a business, what business would you do? In which industry would you want to do a business and why? That is my question to you. My question is very simple. If you had to do business, what business, like which industry would you do business in and why? क्या business करते और क्यों? Ramadevi says dress and food, clothes and food. Aditya says clothing. Okay. What about others? Give me why as well. You're not giving me why. ठीक है, you would do clothing, you would do dress, you would do food industry, fast food industry. Pooja and Divya says fast food, right? But why? Also tell me why. Electronics, business and food, clothing. अरे भैया, why? Give me the answer with why. Rahul says gaming industry because it is creative and you're very fond of gaming, right? That's one point. That's good. So that industry is attractive to you. Sports cars, young people trend and interested people want to spend more money. Aditya, that's good. Gaming industry because it's growing in India. Service industry like equity broking, Jared, super. Tech gadgets because more innovation is possible and there are many applications in practical life. Good. Restaurant business or a salon, okay. Products because there is huge demand of products. Okay, what products? I'll see. Maybe some tech business, people are addictive, following trends, right? Industry which have more opportunity to grow. Food because I love to cook and eat. Okay, innovation to make different innovations. Food and industry, mobile phones because everyone can buy. Some tech business because technology is changing day by day. Electronic vehicles because market in India for e-vehicle is emerging. Got it. देवराज हिंदी में क्या ट्रांसलेट करना है? अभी तो मैं सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, इसमें क्या ट्रांसलेट करूंगा? Infrastructure because our GDP per capita is increasing, people will spend more. Okay, that's a very economic answer. Build and developer making lots of money. Real estate. Nagaraj is going to do real estate. Please give us 2 houses. Nagaraj, we're in really big need of houses. Super. Telecom, beauty products because nowadays everyone likes to look beautiful, right? Navanyas ekdam becoming the Kendall Jenner and Kylie Jenner of India. Okay, restaurant because going to restaurant you like going there. Okay, you want a health products and gym because nowadays everyone wants to be body and fit. Absolutely, see, you guys know which industry you want to target and why. That's exactly what we are going to study in the next 5 minutes is attractiveness of industry. What makes what makes an industry attractive? The question is simple. What makes an industry attractive? Number one, growth potential, right? If an industry has a growth potential, it's going to grow in the future. It's a promising industry. Electric vehicle, gym, food, beauty product, GDP, real estate, equity broking, right? All of you are giving that answer because you know the growth potential of in India is huge. Number one, you gave that answer. That's why the industry is attractive because there is growth potential. Number two, current and future competition. Current competition conditions are favorable to profitability and future, right? More competition will come, or right now there is less competition, so I want to do this business. Right now there is less competition in this industry and the growth potential is huge, so I want to do this business. That's how you're analyzing your business opportunity. That's what we are saying. Number three, driving forces, right? How will prevailing industry forces impact profitability? What you also need to analyze is the current prevailing practices will impact profitability means, like you said, GDP is going in the right direction. People have started investing in equity, so equity broking is going to be huge. People have started investing in looking beautiful, so beauty products. People are spending 1500, 1700 on a lipstick or a foundation or whatever we guys are spending, like creams, night creams, essential oils, like oil droplets and whatnot for 5,000, 6,000 rupees. The driving forces impact profitability. There is a trend. People are ready to spend money. That's a driving force where you were also focusing that, boss, okay, people are ready to spend money. I will do this business. Number four, competitive position. When you decide, you will see your own competitive standing, right? Whether it's going to be improving or weakening. That means who is the business leader. Once you start doing the business, you will figure out who are the industry leaders, what are they doing, what is their profitability, are they really making money or not, right? Then you will also look after weaker rivals, that how are they positioned in the industry. Can you buy out weaker rivals? Can you just probably leverage weaker rivals' vulnerability for opportunities? That means you can buy them off. You can beat the smaller rivals to to actually fight with the big rivals in the industry. Can you do that? That's what you got to analyze as well. Defense mechanism. Can the company defend against industry attractiveness factors like government policy change ho gaya, demonetization, digitization of this, online shopping? People are saying who want to do cosmetics business or trading or this and that. You already have Zerodha and Grow. You already have Flipkart, Amazon, Meesho. Right? It's going to be tough. Are you ready to defend against the factors which are going to make it tough for you to do the business? Yes or no, you need to decide. That's where your strategy will be. These are just factors to consider for identifying attractiveness of the industry. Okay. Risk and uncertainty, how risky the business is, वो तो आपको analyze करना ही पड़ेगा to figure out the attractiveness of the business, that how risky is a restaurant, how risky is equity broking, how risky is real estate, how risky is a hair salon, how risky is electric vehicle or a clothing industry, right? Herbal products, food, innovation, cosmetics. You say fast food industry is growing too much, or cloud kitchens and delivery, logistics, right? You need to analyze the risk and uncertainty of all these industries before you start investing your time, effort, and money into any business. Okay. That's industry environment analysis of finding the attractiveness of the industry. Great. Two great concepts. What we now will study is experience curve and value creation. Very simple, super simple, kuch bhi nahi hai, but these are M facts. Okay. These are your M facts that you got to remember. Both these is number one, experience curve. A typical experience curve may be depicted as follows. This is cost per unit. This is cumulative production. We're talking about economies of scale. Okay. I'm talking about economies of scale. We call it EOS, economies of scale. That's talking about experience curve. As the experience increases, the cost of doing thing falls. The cost of doing something falls as you gain experience, right? You remember you started learning scooty, or you were learning to ride a scooter. It was too heavy. You were not able to handle. Now you're using your phone and going on scooty to somewhere, right? Which is absolutely wrong. You shouldn't do that. But I'm saying the experience curve, right? The experience curve, the cost of doing thing decreases, the effort in doing something decreases over a period of time. If you keep doing that, if you keep repeating something, the effort, the cost in doing anything falls down. And this is what businesses want to achieve. Businesses want to achieve a place where they are most efficient, where the cost is bilkul minimum, and that is where they start charging a lot of money. That is what lawyers do. That is what lawyers or chartered accountants do. They say, I have an experience of 30 years. I charge 10,000 rupees for 30 minutes of my consultation, right? because you have accumulated experience over time. And now the cost is so less for you that you know everything. You don't have to go back to books and study ki kya ho raha hai, how do I manage, you don't have to put a lot of efforts. You have the experience. You can answer right away and charge 10,000. When you're a new person, you will have to go back, study, and understand what the question was. The solution is spend 2 3 nights, then come back and say, I charge 10,000. They say no, you don't have the experience, you are very new, you are fresher, I will only pay 2,000 rupees. You will say okay, right? But when you gain experience, the cost and effort of doing things decreases as you grow in your particular expertise area, and then you can charge, your margin increases. When the cost falls, the amount you charge increases, and thus your margin increases. It's called margin expansion. It's called margin expansion. Okay. The same concept, if I take to value creation, experience curve leads to value creation, which means, look at this table, the cost of value creation. This is your cost, okay? Let's say this is your cost. The cost is 10 rupees. The cost of a particular product is 10 rupees. Okay. Now the firm says, I want to make a margin of 20 rupees on this, right? So the selling price by now, the selling price now becomes 30 rupees. Okay. Now the product is for 10 rupees. The company sells it for 30 rupees. So 20 rupees is margin, 10 rupees is the cost. This is how the company is. The concept of value creation says it is the process of increasing the overall worth or utility of a product, service, business, exceeding the cost of resources used. It involves delivering benefits that exceed customer expectations, fostering growth, and generating a competitive advantage in the marketplace, thus increasing customer satisfaction and profitability. Classic example, iPhone. ठीक है जी? The cost of an iPhone, let's assume, is 15,000 rupees. ठीक है जी? The cost of an iPhone is, let's say, 15,000 rupees. The cost of an iPhone is 15,000 rupees. Now the company knows I want to make 25,000 rupees on it. I want to make 25,000 rupees on it. So company says, okay, my selling price is going to be what? 40,000 rupees. ठीक है जी? 40,000 का प्राइस रख दिया इन्होंने. But they're giving something unique. It involves delivering benefits exceeding customer expectations. Value to the customer. Value to the customer. The cost is 15. I want to make 25,000. But see, I'm giving value to the customer for about 30,000 rupees. 30,000 की added value दे रहा हूं मैं. People will feel rich. People will feel design, the quality, the experience. They are selling the idea of an iPhone to you. And they say, boss, the price is 70,000 rupees. And you and me as a customer feel that, okay, 70,000 rupees to price theek hai, because even if they make it for 15-20,000 rupees, yeah, it's an iPhone. iPhone to महंगा होगा ही, right? Now this is where they're creating value in the eyes of the customer. This is called value creation. This is called value creation. Give me 1 second. Yeah. This is called value creation. It's the process of increasing the overall worth. The process of increasing overall worth, right? The process of increasing the overall worth of a utility or product, exceeding customer satisfaction, thus increasing satisfaction and profitability. यहाँ पे होता है real branding. This is your real branding, right? This is your cost. You try to reduce this cost through experience curve. You try to reduce this and you try to expand this and this. You try to expand this and this through branding. You try to reduce this by experience curve. So you're reducing your cost, you're increasing your value creation, बीच का जो गैप होता है, when this gap is huge, the bigger the gap, the better the company is. This is called profitable pricing brand, right? This is where the money is made. This should reduce, right? This should go down and this should go up. As simple as that. This is where the businesses are working day in, day out. How do you reduce this? Through experience curve. How do you increase this? Through branding, through marketing, through strategy, through competitor analysis, right? Experience curve, as the experience increases, the cost decreases. That's as simple as experience curve. Old bike companies like Bajaj and Hero have reduced the cost so much that no new company would be able to beat them. That's their competitive advantage. That's their value chain analysis. That's their experience curve. And that is why they are so rich companies, because the cost is less and the brand value is huge now, right? This is where they're making money. Great. Market and customers. The next topic for us is market and customers. A customer is a person who buys the product, right? Customers are important because they provide revenue. Very simple concept. Customer kaun hai? Anybody who's buying your product is a customer. Customer analysis is really important. This is where a new topic in strategic management has been introduced. This is your customer analysis. Okay. Customer analysis is vital in strategic planning because it involves evaluating all of this, which is evaluating customer desires, using surveys and data, crafting profiles, understanding what they want, how much price they can pay, why will they pay, where do they buy, when do they buy, all of that. They do that to create a strategy for the customer. They buy maximum product at maximum price. That is what the business wants them to do, right? And that is where customer now, who are the buyers, when will they buy, how much price can they pay, do they buy online or offline, how do they buy, how often do they buy, what is, are they a frequent person, or are they a one timer purchase? You have to identify that. While doing that, also you have to identify customer behavior. Okay. Customer behavior is to examine element like shopping frequency, product preferences, perception of marketing, sales and servicing offers. Do people really want after sales services? Do people really value warranty and guarantee? Right? All of these factors is customer behavior, right? Do they really want to pay more for a warranty? Do they really want to like pay more for a good packing? Like you said, for milk, that even if the packing is good, I don't care. I wouldn't buy your product if the packing is good. I'm just concerned about my milk. That's a customer behavior. I need to understand that Indian customer will not buy my product if my packaging is good. They will already be like महंगा होगा, right? They will think like I don't want to spend money on a basic necessity. सुंदर का क्या पैकेट तो फेंकना ही है, right? An Indian customer would think that I just have to throw away the packet. Why will I spend money to buy a good packet when I just have to empty it in a utensil and just throw the packet? Why will I pay 50 rupees for that every day, right? Customer behavior. Customer behavior. That's where you figure this out. Now you understand customer behavior. Indian customer like you and me, we are the young, we are even younger than me. So the customer behavior is we are looking for good quality technology at a cheaper price. You give me headphones for 1200 rupees, I will buy it without even thinking. You tell me these headphones are for 7000 rupees, I might not buy. I might just say I don't think 7,000 is worth buying for a headphone. But you say 1,200 rupees. I'll say okay. But even if the quality is half, you'll say very good. Half ही तो है. 7,000 ka half is 3,500. I'm getting it for 1,200. Right? This is how the customer behavior works. This is what the business and the company analyzes. You know it, you're smart enough. I'm just giving you examples, but this is what we are probably talking about. Okay. If we increase quality of milk, then people may buy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jayesh bhai, Kalkator, Kaklator. Okay. So that is where the business people will buy, because when we increase the quality, people would surely come and buy, say, boss, listen, our quality is better than the existing product. Packaging is not a USP. Our USP is quality. Now, if you're watching KBC, right, in Kaun Banega Crorepati, what they're selling is Govardhan ghee kharido. Amitabh Bachchan keeps shouting Govardhan ghee, Govardhan ghee. Govardhan ghee is saying we are the best quality ghee, right? That is where they're creating a branding, and they can charge more price. Just like iPhone, they're trying to create a brand, right? You go in the market, it's 100 rupees costlier than any ghee possible, right? That's how businesses want to charge more money from us. Cool. Let's go to the next one. This is simple. Okay. Consumer decision making. How does a consumer makes a decision? A new topic for you, a new topic in strategic management, new syllabus. That's where, if you have studied, ICAI syllabus is becoming global, it's becoming new age, it's becoming futuristic. These are the topics where we want to touch upon. It's a mini MBA for you, right? Consumer decision making, external influences, advertisements, mouth to mouth publicity, right? Peer recommendations. Your friend says, go buy that face wash. It's a really good face wash. You will go and buy it. Advertisement. Tiger Shroff comes and tells you, drink this thing. It's good for health. You're like, huh, he's a fit person. He would know what's good for health, right? Social norms affect consumer choices as well, right? Divided into marketing efforts and environmental factors. Somebody selling umbrellas in Mumbai, Pune makes so much sense because it's always raining, right? External influences. So somebody doing an advertisement of umbrellas in Mumbai makes sense. Somebody doing advertisement of umbrellas in, let's say, Madhya Pradesh, or somebody somewhere in Rajasthan. Okay. If somebody wants to sell umbrellas in Rajasthan, people are like, are you crazy? It doesn't rain here. But you could say you would need it for the sunshade as well. People don't use umbrellas for sunshades in India, right? So external influences, understanding the customer choices, the right market, the right placement of the product is where consumer decision making starts with. You see something on the advertisement, somebody tells you about it, you see a hoarding, so you hear about it on the social media, you see somebody doing something on social media. That is the initiation point from an external influence, that you get to know about a particular product, right? Kahin se suna, kahin se pata chala. That is where you start, that idea of that product comes into your mind. You see new shoes. Now Nike sneakers, what a marketing trick, right? Everybody wants to wear a Nike sneaker now. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000. They're just shoes, my friend, right? All these social media influencers, or everybody you see, all the stars are making these Nike Jordans and this. They're creating awareness. They're just putting stuff into you, that this is from externally, you're getting information. Yeah, this is what rich people do. This is what affluent people do. This is what looks like a good design, right? That is initiation of a consumer decision making. The second is internal influence. पहला होता है external. Something comes from the outside and tells you that, boss, this is happening, this is what you should buy. Then comes internal influences, like psychological factors like motivation and attitudes shape consumer decisions. That means they will tell you, right? They will tell, you will start feeling that I deserve this. I have done good today. I deserve this. I have scored good marks in my examinations. I deserve this, right? Your brain psychologically starts telling you that you should buy this because you have done efforts for this. You deserve this. This will look good on you. People will look at you when you do this, right? You want to feel good. You want to be liked by people around. So your internal influences decide or play with your decision making, right? Then comes the real decision making process. Real decision making process involves problem recognition, seeking alternatives, information gathering, and making a final choice, right? First, you figure out, why am I not able to do this while others are doing this? Then you seek alternatives. How can I do that? Right? Somebody is wearing, let's say, a smartwatch, right? Your friend is wearing a smartwatch, let's say external factor. External influences, your friend is wearing a smartwatch and she tells you, boss, it's a fantastic thing. I love this. I've been using this for 2 months now. बहुत मजा आ रहा है. It's a great product. It's a great gadget. External influence to you. You were not thinking about it, but now you say, हो सकता है. Maybe it's a good product. Then internal influence, psychological pressure will come to you that I can also buy. Why am I not buying? Let me also try. Why am I missing out? That is where your FOMO comes into picture, right? The FOMO is fear of missing out. You get into FOMO, that is fear of missing out. And internal influence builds inside you that what if I am missing this? What if I'm not getting this? Why am I not able to do this? You get into a FOMO, fear of missing out. You're missing out something. Your brain tells you you're missing out on the fun. It creates a pressure. Then you go and figure out what's the problem. Is it money? Maybe yes, maybe no. Is it the need? Maybe yes, maybe you don't need it. Maybe yes, maybe no, right? Then you seek alternatives. Then you try to convince yourself, I don't need this. Why should I buy this? It's a costly thing. Why should I waste my money? I'll use my money somewhere else, right? You start debating yourself. Then you start gathering information. How are the reviews? Which all brands are there? Different brands have different prices. Which one will suit my need, right? And then you finally decide, नो प्रॉब्लम, लेट मी बाय एंड सी क्या होगा यार. 2,500 की स्मार्ट वॉच है, लेके देखते हैं क्या होता है. लेट मी ट्राई एंड वेयर दिस, राइट? यू मेक अ फाइनल चॉइस. This is a consumer decision making process, right? Most significant for high impact purchases like cars, TVs, and refrigerators, you do a lot of research, information gathering, especially for gadgets and technology, right? Post decision making process, after you have taken a decision, after the purchase is done, consumer reactions vary based on satisfaction, leading to repeat purchase or recommendation or dissatisfaction and dissonance. Now, after purchase, you might feel पैसे वेस्ट हो गए, एकदम गलत चीज थी ये तो, I shouldn't have bought this. Or it can be absolute fantastic purchase. I will buy this again. I will buy the latest version as well, right? So this is an entire process of consumer decision making, from external influence to internal influence to decision making process to post decision making process, right? This is a new topic. This is where the syllabus is getting more mini MBA. That's what we keep telling, right? Global centric practical based syllabus. This is where we want to focus now. Okay. Consumer decision making, external influences leading to internal influences leading to a decision making process, and post decision making process review. Was it worth it? Will you repurchase, or will you recommend to others, or you'll be like, boss, waste of money, I don't want to buy this again, right? There's an ad. Okay, guerrilla marketing, that's right. There is a ad for Horlicks. It gives immune power to fight against cold at the time of climate change period now. Yeah, that's right. Ramadip. They're placing the ad so smartly. Now you would see when the winters come, there will be a lot of pollution in North India, in Mumbai, in Pune, in South India as well, in Chennai, right? In Bangalore as well. You will see a lot of pollution, and you will see a lot of Chamanprash, a lot of vitamin tablets, a lot of cough syrup ads coming up as the season changes, right? That's also happening. Cool. Very quickly, let's get to the next topic, which is competitive strategy, right? After this, we will be just short of one topic and we will complete it today. We have 10 minutes. We'll do that in 10 minutes. So don't worry. Tomorrow, we'll do a lot of questions. We will try to start with chapter 3 as well. We will do that and we'll do some questions. Let's just do our last two topics in next 10 minutes and then wrap up. Okay. The competitive strategy of a firm within a business is analyzed using two criteria. One, creation of competitive advantage and protection of competitive advantage. As simple as that, right? Competitive strategy means one, creating a competitive advantage, something unique and valued by the customer. Number two, protecting it and sustaining it for a longer period of time. Okay. Competitive landscape is very simple, right? Understanding competitive landscape is very simple. First, identify the competitors, understand what they do, what are their tricks, what are their areas of focus, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. Number three, determine their strengths. And number four, determine their weakness. As simple as that. Identify the competitors. Who are they? What do they do? Right? What they do the best and what they are weak at. Right? Simple है competitive landscape समझना when you're looking after competitive strategy. Competitive landscape is first, who are my competitors? What do they do? Number three, what are they good at? Number four, what are they not so good at? Okay. Once you gather all this information, you analyze and figure out what you need to do next. Right? How do you want to compete with these people? Right? You want to be like make them vulnerable for their weaknesses and kill them in the market, or you want to fight on their strengths and create something unique for yourself, right? Really depends on how you want to build your strategy. It can be anything, any of the two. Okay. An interesting topic is key factors for competitive success, which is KSFs. This is the last topic of this chapter and very interesting. And again, it's an MFAQ. Very frequently asked in examinations. Most of the questions I make from this. I love this topic because it's very wide yet very informative. Okay. Key success factors. We call them KSFs. When any company, any brand is building a strategy, is building a competitive strategy, or trying to build an overall strategy, they should just figure out that whether how do I check my success? How do I check my success? How do I ensure I am being successful? Key success factors को identify करके, okay? Key success factors that shape whether a company will be financially and competitively successful. ये बताते हैं key success factors. Whether I will be successful financially and competitively, I can identify that. I can ensure that when I'm building a competitive strategy, by building or understanding my KSFs, which is key success factors. Okay. They vary industry to industry. It's not the same for everyone. It varies for every industry. Okay. Every industry will have a different set of KSFs. Okay. Only rarely does an industry have more than 3 or 4 key success factors at any one time. The question will be how many KSFs does a particular industry have? Maximum 3 or 4. Does every industry have the same KSFs? No. Every industry will vary in their KSFs. But what are KSFs? What are key success factors? What are the key success factors? Okay. The to answer to 3 questions help identify any industry's key success factors. The answers to these 3 questions will help identify the KSFs of any industry, and every industry has a different KSF. Number one question you want to answer is, on what basis do customers choose between the competing brands of sellers? What product attributes are crucial to sales? What are people buying on? People are buying cell phones for the software, for the design, the beauty of the phone, the camera, the speed, the processor, the cost price. What makes a customer buy the product of the competitor? Number one question that you have to figure out. Number one question that any business in any industry has to figure out is, why are people buying this product? Is it because of design? Is it because of pricing? Is it because of quality? Is it because of like they like this, they use this, it's a daily product? Why are people buying this? Why are people buying rice, basmati rice? Why are people buying toothpaste? Why are people buying toothbrush? Why are people buying laptops? Why are people buying phone chargers? Why are people buying clothes? Why within clothes people are buying formal clothes? What makes a customer buy a suit, right? It can be an occasion, it can be a quality of the competitor. Why are people buying suits from Van Heusen? Why are people buying suits from, let's say, Zara? Why are people buying suits from Raymond's, right? What makes the customer buy from them? What's so good about them? Number one. Number two, what resources and competitive capabilities does a seller need to have to be competitively successful? Better human capital, quality of product, quantity of product, or cost of service, right? What resources do I need to give to provide this product? Why are customers buying this product from this person? Number one. What resources and capabilities do I need to make that product? Number three, what does it take for seller to achieve a sustainable competitive advantage? I don't want to play short term. Short term nahi khelna hai. I want to play long term, right? The focus is long term. What it takes to do all of this, what it takes to do all of this for a long period of time, for years and years and years. How do I build a strategy that is long term? If you can answer these three questions, these become your KSFs, the key success factors: the product, the resources, and long-term sustainability, right? Any industry, pick any industry. If anybody in any industry answers these questions, these three answers are your key success factors. This means if you're able to answer these, figure out answers to these and work on it, your brand, your company will be successful. If you are able to answer these questions and figure out a strategy to build on that, your business will be successful. This is called key success factors. Key success factors. Okay. With that, your chapter number 2 is also complete on time, 9:30 a.m. And we are done with our chapter number 2 as well. Great. Thanks, Pooja, and happy Navratri to you as well. Pooja is like, class khatam, they exit. Thanks, Pooja. I'm here for another 2-3 minutes. You want to ask any questions? You want to share any concepts? You have some doubts? I'm happy to solve that, right? Tomorrow we do questions and we will try to start with chapter 3 as well, but my focus will be more on questions. Great. Thanks, Mansi. Jay, take a guess. Which city am I from? Take a guess. Let's see if you can guess or not. Thanks, Priyanka. Fire session. I like the emojis of fire. Absolutely, Rohit. Just after I close this session, I will upload this on the portal and should be there. I will upload it right away once we exit the session. Jayesh says, I'm from Haryana. ठीक है. Do I start the class by saying, Rom Rom Bhaiyo, I am starting this class. Why do you feel I'm from Haryana? Yeah, Ramadevi, you have guessed it right. Most of you are right. Jay says, I'm from Mumbai. ठीक है. Thanks. Do I look like a Mumbai girl? ठीक है. Thanks, Mansi. मुझे भी मजा आ गया इतना सब कुछ नया आज पढ़ के. All clear? Super. Yeah, I'm from Delhi. Yes, most of you know how. राहुल, I know. क्लास अच्छी, लास्ट के सेशन में नींद आ गई, कोई नहीं, रिपीट करके देख लेना. Relation between competitive landscape and key factors of competitive success. Uh, See, everything is interrelated. You cannot just pick one simple relation between KSFs and competitive landscape. But when we talk about this, right, it starts from here. Competitive landscape आपको पता होगा, only then you can figure out why are people buying the competitor's brand, or what resources will you need? Unless you do not understand who the competitors are and what they do, you cannot really answer these questions. So you need to have a knowledge of competitive landscape to answer the KSF questions. Awesome. Jayesh Wise got from LinkedIn. Super. Start building your LinkedIn. That's great place to begin with as well. Super Madhav, you are from Delhi too. Awesome. नेहा says यूएस के लगे. Accent आ रहा है मेरी इंग्लिश में. Okay, if there are no doubts, let's. You're from Surat, Jay. Awesome, bhai. You are enjoying your life. You're eating locho in the morning. Surat का तो locho famous है, I know, right? चलो मजे करो. Navratri, you're the best place to enjoy Navratri. All the dance and garba. Cool. With that, as I look similar to that, Shivam. Okay, cool. With that, let's end the session here. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy your festive season. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, 7 a.m. Sunday बर्बाद करेंगे आपका. Right. See you tomorrow. We start with a lot of questions from chapter 1 and 2, scenario based, and we will try to begin with chapter 3 as well. I think we'll start with chapter 3. Till then, take care. I'll see you tomorrow.